comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, going down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and Blitzen and all his reindeer pulling on the rein. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. Hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that's filled with toys for the boys and girls again. Hear those sleigh bells jingle, jingle, what a beautiful sight. Jump in that cover of your hat, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Ho, 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 here comes elves, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and all his reindeer pulling on the rein. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. Hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Hey, hey, here comes big fat Santa, waddling right down Santa's lane. He's got a bag of toys, gimme, for kids again. Hear those bells ring, ding dong, what a beautiful sight. Jump in bed to cover up your head, 'cause Santa, da-ba-do-ba-ba-da-da, Santa, ba-ya-da-ba-da, Santa, Santa comes tonight. Ho, ho, ho.
Hey, thank you very much for clicking on. Good evening, everybody. It is American Dufus channel, and it is Dufus After Dark. And hello. Thank you all for clicking on. We're going to give out the nominations for the first ever Doofy Awards. Hello to, hey, BTM Sparky, Jungle Jane, Tanya Anderson, Apollo, how you doing? Who else we got in here? Ben Nevitz. Every time I see Ben Nevitz, I think of Glenn Levitz for some reason. Both classy, maybe. Hello to LePreux, Katrina, Lori Arnold, and everybody watching. Thank you all very much. Hope you're having a great night. A little earlier, we say the BBA, Bad Boy Aries. Hope you're having a good night. It is the 18th day of December, 7 days until Christmas. And so we started out with a little bit of Christmas music there. And hello, Cunning Stunt. And again, we started out with just a little bit of Christmas music there. And if you'd like details on who that was, ask Cunning Stunt. Lolo's Lounge. Thank you for coming on the other night. We're going to get this worked out. I want to have you on here, and I want to have you on here and do something fun, and actually I had something in mind, but something happened that changed that, and I'll explain that coming up. But thank you, Lolo. And while we're speaking about Lolo, coming up when we get to the news, there's going to be some court hearings tomorrow. And there might be a viewing party at Lolo's Lounge. Just see Lolo for details on that. I understand Freedom Squirrel, Melanie's dad, is either having surgery today, had surgery today, or is having surgery tomorrow. And I just want to send absolute best wishes for successful process, whatever it is, and a full and speedy recovery. Blessings be upon them. Me to you, thank you for being on here. They are wonderful singers. Yes, they were wonderful singers. The watch party starting in Lolo's Lounge is at 9:45 a.m. Pacific time. Bookmark it. Me to you, they are wonderful singers, and there is a connection to Cunning Stunt. I have to always be cautious of dyslexia when talking about cunning stunt. Denise, good evening. Thank you for clicking on. Thank all of you for clicking on. Those watching live that aren't in the chat, no matter what platform you're on, thank you for clicking on. And I want to say thank you for clicking on. And there have been some people that have been doing a little fundraising for me, and I greatly appreciate that. And I thank you. I'm going to do something not tonight, but I'm going to do a little more extended thank you than just say thank you like I just did. But everybody that's helped in trying to raise money and everybody that's donated, sincere thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, I'll get more in depth because it's kind of serious, and some people don't want. Oh crap! I dropped my pen. Be right back. Okay. Some people don't want their names out there as far as helping, and I totally understand that. So for right now, I'm just going to say a massive thank you to everybody, because there have been a few people that have pitched in, and I thank you all sincerely. Yes, that was Cunning Stunt's Sons Barbershop Quartet that we saw at the opening of the program tonight, and she was kind enough to send that to me. And when I saw it, I thought, oh my gosh, I got to open the show with that. How fitting! I keep dropping my pen. All right, I'm going to set it down and I won't drop it anymore. I'll knock it off. So we have the nominations in for the first and probably last Doofy Awards. And let's see. Here we go. All right. Who's ready for the awards? Because I'm ready. Okay. Sorry, SpongeBob cracks me up. And the awards are meant to be fun. So we're going to have a fun episode as much as possible, because we've got some news. So and to start the news off, I'll get back over into the chat here in just a couple of minutes, but let me get a couple of things taken care of here. To start the news off, we're going to go to the weather, and we are going to go to the internet's weatherman for many people, Ron Hall, y'all.
Experience the coldest Christmas of their life, as a historic cold front is about to send a large chunk of the country into a record-breaking deep freeze. On top of that, we have a huge storm forming, and it's going to intercept that cold air just in time for a Christmas-time blizzard. Will you be getting snow? And how cold is it actually going to get? Well, to understand exactly how cold it's going to get here in the U.S., we have to understand where that cold air is coming from. You see, this Arctic blast that's about to sweep over the country is originating from Siberia, which is one of the coldest places on the entire planet. Just a few days ago, it was 78 degrees below zero in the city of Yakutsk. That same Arctic air is about to force its way through Canada and into the lower 48 over the next week and a half. You see, under normal circumstances, this cold air would stay locked in place around Siberia. But a really interesting weather pattern is setting up that meteorologists like to call the Siberian Express. This train of Arctic air will be forced to leave the station as a blocking high pressure system from the North Pacific Ocean gets lofted up into Siberia. This high pressure is going to force the cold air out of Siberia, so where's the cold air going to go? The cold air is going to board the Siberian Express and follow the tracks laid down by the high pressure ridge. It'll follow a clockwise path up through the Arctic Circle, then down through Canada, and finally it'll chug down past the Rocky Mountains and flood into the central and eastern U.S. Right now, we're not exactly certain of how intense this cold air is going to be as it resonates over the U.S. But the GFS model has the big wall of cold air moving into the northwestern U.S. on Tuesday into Wednesday, and then spilling over the Rockies into the plains on Thursday into Friday. Look at all that daggone pink. Entire states in the northern plains, central, and midwest regions of the U.S. could be looking at 30 to 50 degrees below average temperatures during the peak cold time period. Then we see that cold air flow eastward as we head into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And the European model is looking pretty darn similar, but it's much faster in the overall progression of the fronts. Just look at that literal wall of Arctic air coming in on Thursday. This would be accompanied by strong winds as well, maybe even up to 60 miles per hour at times. This could actually end up being one of this winter's most extreme air masses. The record cold may reach as far south as Texas, with some models showing low temperatures at or below zero across the panhandle on Friday morning. And that's nothing compared to the wind chills. Look at this, 50 below zero in North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Nebraska. How about negative 25 degrees in Arkansas? And as the cold air moves east, we could see wind chills in the negative teens as far south as into Tennessee. And with this cold air mass driving south, providing a chilly breeze, on Christmas morning, we could be looking at 10 to 15 degree wind chills in northern Florida. Here's a map showing where I think the coldest air is going to set up from Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. Areas in the cold zone will be noticeably chilly, but the closer you get to the coldest region, we're talking about sub-zero temperatures and a major spike in heating demand that could lead to power outages. So if you're really looking to ditch the coats and get away from that Siberian air, the Southwest looks like the place to be. So we have this huge historically cold...
Wait, the Southwest is the place to be? Okay. Road trip? Anybody? Road trip? I'm kidding, of course, but as we're going to continue to see, this event coming up weather-wise is not something to mock, but yet this is a fun episode, so a little bit of mockery there.
Cold wave of air settling in across the U.S. just before Christmas. Could you imagine if this had happened last week when that massive storm came through that caused the tornado outbreak in the south? I mean, that would just be crazy. And the models are showing an even bigger storm coming through just before Christmas. You see, our last system was massive and it produced a blizzard in the north and a full-on tornado outbreak in the south. Another storm is coming just before Christmas, and honestly, it looks very similar to that last one that just went by. The only difference this time is the cold air is much farther south. This means the blizzard will take place farther south and the thunderstorms will likely be displaced all the way out to sea. We aren't really sure exactly how far south the cold air is going to make it, though. If it goes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico and interacts with the storm system in a way that keeps it hugging the East Coast. In the days leading up to Christmas, a huge snowstorm will likely impact these areas being highlighted in pink. However, if the cold air and jet stream pattern is a little bit more reserved, everything will be a tad bit farther north, meaning that this pink zone would actually be the hardest hit area in terms of snow. Right now, the European model shows the cold air and snow working over the Rockies on Tuesday into Wednesday, and that leads to a big field of snow that eventually develops on Thursday in the Midwest. And as the storm gets bigger, the cold front pushes the snow into the Ohio Valley. And this huge area of cold air does eventually reach the East Coast and even as far south as Florida. But the energy gets intensely wrapped around the low, favoring the northern side of the storm for the biggest snow totals. This leads to our blizzard and snowstorm being focused on the Great Lakes region, with, according to this one model, some places in Michigan and Wisconsin are going to get over a foot of snow. Now, the GFS is more southern and slower with the energy overall. This shows snow in Oklahoma on Thursday and a big snowstorm for a lot of people east of the Mississippi River through Christmas Eve. And according to this model, heavy snowpack could be on the ground from portions of Arkansas through Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and maybe even up into the interior northeast on Christmas morning. Some models are still showing a more eastward progression given snow to the coastal cities, but most favor a more north and west track right now. With all that being said, this pattern overall reminds me a lot of the blizzard of 1978. That storm battered the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes region.
Whoa. The blizzard of 78? No. No, we don't need that. We need that not. I lived through that. That was, I got a lot of stories about that.
regions with what is now known as one of the most severe blizzards in U.S. history. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be a repeat of that, but it does favor the Midwest and Ohio Valley over an East Coast snowstorm. It's very important to remember that we are still several days away from this actually happening, so there's a lot of moving parts and many things can and will change. But I promise you this, someone is going to get a massive Christmas time blizzard, and even more of you are going to see just a brutally cold Christmas overall. If you end up being in one of those groups, the smartest thing to do is to prepare now. You can do that by doing any last minute Christmas shopping before the Arctic air arrives. Go ahead and gas up the generator and just make sure that you're ready for the worst. And of course, we can't forget the most important thing.
Yeah, we can. That's Ryan Hall, y'all. The internet weatherman, according to many people. So 78 was a fun time to be a kid, lots of fun and snow. Okay, yeah, it was, but we couldn't go anywhere. Literally, I have pictures. I don't have them at the moment, but there are pictures of us opening the front door and the snow being drifted over the door. And, that's not unusual. For some areas, Buffalo, New York, people like that, they see that all the time. Indiana, not so much. I'm getting a flamethrower. I was glad there was no school. Yeah, there was no school for a very long time because some of the drifts out in the country were 15 to 20 feet high. And once you got the excavators out there and started trying to move the snow, there was nowhere to put the snow. Turned 18 in 1978, says Larry. Lolo's Lounge says, get out those cargo shorts, dudes. I wear cargo shorts all the way up until I can't anymore, just because I like having lots of pockets. Oh, Jules, yes, that's why I hate the cold. Dang, come visit in Arizona, 65 and sunny. That's what I'm saying. Maybe we ought to have a convoy, a quickly organized convoy Tuesday and Wednesday to get to Arizona area before Thursday. Stock up on wood. I was alive. 7 months old, and I bet your parents were freaking out because if they ran out of anything, there was just nothing you could do. Remember we've got some fellow Hoosiers here. Remember those days growing up in Indiana? Wait a minute, let me get back up to that here if I can. My daddy walked 5 miles in that to school, uphill both ways. Yeah. Mater. Yeah, I heard that one too. I love to play in it, but I don't like the cold and snow. Yeah, I used to love to go snow skiing and sledding and snowball fights and building snowmen with the kids, but I don't even like walking the dog at the moment in the condition we're in. I think it's like 26 degrees where I'm at the moment and windy. I want, again, a special thank you to BTM Sparky. She's done so much as far as trying to help with raise funds, and thank you, darling. I will be forever grateful. Max Flower, I'm getting too old to be shoveling snow off of the roof. That's a thing too. In blizzard conditions, that's a real thing. You can get so much snow packed up on your roof that your roof will collapse. I don't mind the snow, it's the freezing temps. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the freezing temps either. And I don't like ice. I really don't. I don't like walking on ice. I don't like driving on ice. And generally, you get it where I'm at. The first thing that happens is you get a sheet of ice. Hopefully it's a small one. And then the snow comes down on top of it, and it just keeps getting progressively worse. The wind was horrible here in Ohio. Sounded like our walls were going to cave in. And according to what Ryan Hall just told us, we've got some major wind, up to 60-mile-an-hour wind, with wind chills in the negative double digits. Remember, if you Christmas morning, brr, yes, the hayseeds. Doofus, come to Texas with me. When you going to Texas, Lori Arnold? What? Don't tell everybody here. Sorry, that was. But let me know when you're going to Texas. Go get the ice cleats for your shoes or boots. They work great. Okay, I'll look into that. Yeah, losing power is a major concern. The windier it gets, the more power lines are whipped around, the more tree limbs break off. You got ice weighing tree limbs down, causing them to break off. You got ice causing people to run into utility poles. And then you've got just, massive amounts of snow that keep people from being able to go and rectify any situations. How much did I missed that? Somebody asked how much. I don't know. I don't know how much has been raised. I just was saying thank you. I feel lukewarm and it's 30 degrees. I'm cold. I'm cold sitting back here, and it's 26 out, and I've got the heat turned down at the moment. Hey, Paw Patrol, Wendy Spears. The hayseeds. Always a tip of the hat for the greatest gags of this past summer's soap opera, and we are going to reveal the nominees coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Let's get through our breaking news first, and mainstream media, according to NBC News, Schiff says Trump broke the law, but he declines to reveal specific criminal referrals. CNN's headline: Parents of a missing 11-year-old Madalena Coyarque arrested for failure to report the fact that she's missing, which is conspicuous in and of itself, in my opinion. Anyway, the Guardian's headline is: a major winter storm expected to hit much of us before Christmas. And New York Times: Proud Boy trial set to open, focusing on their role in January 6th violence. Washington Post says the Vatican removes an anti-abortion activist, Frank Pavone, from the priesthood. So, because of blasphemous comments, according to the Vatican. And finally, Reuters: the El Paso mayor declares a state of emergency over the influx of migrants. That's El Paso, Texas. And we are just about there. I've got our Twitter bookmarks to go through first, but we're just about there.
I'll bet you think you're ready to make that Krabby Patty.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Whoa there. We still have a few more topics to cover first.
Yes, we still have a few more topics to cover first. Again, thank you all for clicking on, and we are going to get to those nominations coming up. But at the moment, we are just going to run through our bookmarks here. Breaking news: Elon Musk asked. This was 3 hours ago. He actually posted it 4 hours ago. Asked Twitter users if he should step down as the Twitter CEO. Says he will abide by the vote. Should I step down as head of Twitter? Question mark. I will abide by the results of this poll, which could mean that someone even worse runs Twitter. Donald Trump is now in charge of Twitter. The mayor, Democratic mayor of El Paso, declared a state of emergency ahead of the expiration of Title 42, the pandemic era policy that allowed border agents to expel migrants. Officials of both parties warn the U.S. is ill-prepared for lifting border restrictions. Again, we just give you things to think about, okay? Not telling you what's right or wrong, not telling you how to think, just asking you to look more than one direction and to think. Twitter will start suspending accounts linking to prohibited forms, quote unquote, such as Facebook, Instagram, if those accounts are, quote, used for the main purpose of promoting content on another social platform, end quote, the Elon Musk owned company announced today. So my channel on Twitter, I am American Dufus channel on YT for YouTube. So I'm small and insignificant and don't anticipate getting blocked, but it's blocking anybody that is promoting another platform. That's certainly what I'm doing on with the name of my channel. And Twitter has changed. I'm deleting these so that my computer doesn't overheat. Those of you that watch know that happens on occasion, especially with videos. I'm really disappointed to learn about this. Disney's National Treasure series. I really like the National Treasure movies, and I was hoping there would be another one, but I did not want it to happen like this. And don't be surprised, actually be prepared, because this is what's going to happen to Indiana Jones. And to me, Indiana Jones is, Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. You can't have a series called Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford. You know, it's different. You can have Star Wars without Luke, because there are other things in Star Wars, but Indiana Jones is Indiana Jones, and that's just my opinion. I know. Shut up and get off my lawn. The former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried is expected to appear in Bahamas court on Monday to reverse his decision to contest extradition to the United States. Person familiar with the matter told CNN. The person that told CNN probably told Sam, look, you know, you're going to be much better off in custody in the United States, because there are a lot of people who you have screwed out of millions and millions and millions of dollars. And a lot of them, you know, might actually want to do you harm. So he reversed his decision and decided to go into custody. Kim Kardashian and Elon Musk's mother, Mae Musk, are on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit editions. Again, just giving you something to think about. Can you read? I mean, are there things to be read into this? And apparently there was a soccer game today. Yeah, there was a soccer game today, and France lost to Messi, I think is who France lost to, and France rioted. We had 4 different views going here a few hours ago of the riot that happened in Paris following France getting beat in a soccer game. You know, something to think about. Next time you go to a soccer game, be prepared that a riot could break out. And let me make sure I got this right. I do. Okay. Yep. Elon, WTH is wrong with you? What did Jesus do? Banning up next. The Twitter account Jesus Christ has indeed been suspended on Twitter. 161 years later, and that's another reason I delete these as we go. 161 years later, and still telling lies, according to this Twitter poster. The history of the Confederate States of America was keeping slavery intact. Slavery is hate and cruelty, but this BS is flying over Jag Stadium. NFL football today, the Dallas Texans, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Jacksonville Jaguars played in Jacksonville, and this was indeed flying over the stadium. Confederate flag saying history, not hate, and saying sshf.org. And we are going to pop over and check out just briefly what that is. And it is the Save Southern Heritage of Florida is what the SSHFL is. Everyone, this is their quote, everyone should do all in his power to collect and disseminate the truth in the hope that it may find a place in history and descend to posterity. History is not the relation of campaigns and battles and generals or other individuals, but that which shows the principles for which the South contended and which justified her struggle for those principles, end quote. Robert E. Lee. So that's who that group is. That let me go back. That's who paid for this to be flying over Jaguar Stadium today. Again, something to think about. This is these are soccer fans. This is Jared Kushner and Elon Musk in a Saudi box, Saudi Arabian oligarchs and oil inheritors watching a soccer game today. This is what former president put out today. As you can see, it was 8:19 this morning. Republicans and patriots all over the land must stand strong and unite against the thugs and scoundrels of the Unselect Committee. It will be a dark period in American history, but with darkness comes light. Supposedly, there is a civil war in the Republican Party between the pro-Trump MAGAs and the anti-Trump, quote, conservatives, end quote. Republican Mitt Romney described Trump as, quote, acting the aging pitcher who keeps losing games, and said Trump was the kiss of death for all GOP candidates. The meme, since he launched his campaign, he has dined with two Holocaust deniers who praised Hitler, expressed support for the January 6th insurrectionists, called for the termination of the United States Constitution, and seen his company convicted of tax fraud, conspiracy, and other crimes. Again, we are almost... But again, a lot of stuff to think about today. And Middle-Aged Riot says Republicans, quote, lock her up, end quote. Also Republicans, no matter what Donald Trump did, if you lock him up, there will be civil war, end quote. Again, let's hope that is hyperbole. Siri, how do I make free advertising for the thing I'm trying to prevent? Specifically, we will remove account created solely for the purpose of promoting other social platforms and content that contains links or usernames for the following platforms. So far, YouTube's not on here. Facebook, Instagram, Mastodon, Truth Social, Tribal, Nostra, and Post. Thus far, what I'm hearing is a lot of people are moving to Mastodon. A lot of people are moving to Post, that are leaving Twitter. And, okay, yeah. And there are people that are indeed leaving Twitter, and leaving Twitter in groves. So, there's always been problems, Jules. Again, just giving you things to think about. Not telling you what to think or how to think. Just showing you things that you may not see if all you watch is mainstream news. And if you just watch one news source only, you're only going to see one thing. And I hope we are all aware of that by now. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Hunter Biden's laptop. Actually, Lois, I did an episode back in the spring where after this, well, the information on, I'm going to put it this way. The information on Hunter Biden's laptop has been in the darker realms of the internet, if you will, for a while. And I did an interview in the spring and said there's a lot of sex, there's a lot of drugs, but from everything that I've seen, there isn't anything that is, ties him to anything else. Doesn't mean there wasn't something found. But I want to see that get over and done with. If there's something on there that they're going to do something with, do it. Otherwise, all you're doing is weakening it. Which I don't think there's anything on there. Again, from what I saw, it was sex and drugs, and not really good sex or good drugs. Okay, Barry, we will discuss. Cool, Lolo. There is no laptop. Okay. And that's a distinct possibility, too. The whole thing was made up by some blind guy that's a Trump supporter. We'll find it all out. Now, all right. Let me go back to the chat just for a couple of minutes. Lolo, I'm going to go back. Actually, what I'm going to do real quick here before I'm going to get it set up so I don't take a long time. I'm going to go back over here to the bookmarks real quick and show everybody something. There we go. This is just an excerpt from an article. They're fooled into thinking they're fooled into thinking they are talking with real people, when in reality it is artificial intelligence, AI. They are interacting with QAnon, AI, experimental emotional cognition, systems being incrementally tested to see if AI is accepted by the public. And in the notes, 2 degrees of separation between Peter Thiel and Jeffrey Epstein, who was an important financier of transhumanist research. Thiel is on the advisory board of the Machine Intelligence Research Institute, whose director of research and humanity was member Ben. That should give you all enough to think about. And if you watch some of their videos, it's pretty easy to see the artificial intelligence interaction. So, and the connection. Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not sure where, but I've heard that name somewhere. Peter Thiel. Seemed like he financed some Senate campaigns. Ohio, maybe. I don't know. Again, these are just things to think about. And all I saw was argue. But if there are arguments in the chat, keep it as civil as you possibly can, please, and no name calling, no threats, no threats of violence, no doxing, nothing like that. Yeah. Transhumanism is a buzz term for Bannon. Lolo, again, if you haven't watched Lolo's Lounge, you need to. You'll learn things, and you'll laugh, and you'll have fun. Friday nights, and okay, gotcha. No problem, Jules. Extra money fund, laptop, Trump, insurrection, top secret documents, impeachment twice. No brainer. Blake Masters. Captain Kangaroo is Q. Yes, we do have a great chat in here. Me too. So here we go. Finally, the nominations, and there were a lot more nominations than I thought there were going to be. People really got into the idea of doing this, and a lot more nominations than I thought there were going to be. For some things, a couple of categories, there weren't. We're doing 4 nominations in each category. And in a couple of categories, there weren't enough nominations. There weren't 4. But anyway, we're still doing it. So I'm going to start off with the funniest. Here are your nominations for the 4 funniest 1776 Restoration Movement protesters. In no particular order, actually in the order that people nominated them, not by numbers, but just by when I saw the nomination. Funniest 1776 Restoration Movement members. Stormtrooper, Santa, Oreo, Hal. So the funniest, and what I'm going to do, I'll put a post up on YouTube, in my community, on my community page. I'll put 6 different posts up, and I'll have the 6 categories, and we'll have the male and female for each group in each category. That way it'll be easier for everybody to see. So the funniest males, Chud, Santa, Oreo, and Hal, are the 4 nominees. Funniest female 1776 movement in a summer soap opera online, Jalen, Lady Buckeye, Faith and Country, and Hippie Mama are the 4 nominees for the funniest females from 1776. Males, Chud, Santa, Oreo, and Hal. Somebody also had mentioned Wizzy, but he didn't get enough to make the final 4. Females, Jalen, Lady Buckeye. These are funniest now. Jalen, Lady Buckeye, Faith and Country, and Hippie Mama. For the non-1776 females, we might have 3 of them in the chat. We might have 3 of them in the chat. Lori Arnold, BTM Sparky Madness, Lolo's Lounge, and AP, Anarchy Princess. Those are your 4 nominees, and I can see that they're 4 really funny ladies who can also get really serious really fast and be 4 badass women. Let's not forget that or negate that point. So again, for the non-1776ers, the females Lolo, AP, Lori Arnold, and Sparky. For the funniest male non-1776ers, we have Ant, we have Telescope, we have Baldy Banks, and we have Jerry Garr, CIA. So those are the funniest. Those are the categories for the funniest men, funniest male non-1776er in a summertime online soap opera. Defender of Ants, Telescope, Baldy Banks, and Jerry Garr, CIA are your 4 nominees for the men. And Baldy Banks and Jerry Garr, CIA, speaking of which, I didn't realize they would get nominated. The plan was that, and still is, that in between categories on the night of the award show, we're going to see some of the songs, some of the funny videos from this past summer, and I can just about guarantee you that Jerry Garr, CIA, and Baldy Banks will be represented in those particular videos. So there we go. Funniest: Defender Vance, Telescope, Baldy Banks, Jerry Garr, CIA. Female: Lolo, AP, Lori, and Sparky. Funniest females: Jay Lynn, Lady Buckeye, Faith and Country, and Hippie Mama. Funniest males: 1776, Stormtrooper. Oh, Stormtrooper. Santa, Oreo, and Hal are that's our funniest categories. So Lori Arnold, have to admit it was funny. LOL, no offense intended. Okay, all right. So I just thought I'd buzz over here to the chat for a second and see. Funny female, non-76, got to go with AP. Again, the voting is going to start as soon as, when this episode is done tonight. I'm going to put the categories up, and the voting will officially start. A lot of people send in emails because they don't want other people to know what they think or how they vote, and that's cool. I don't blame you. You can email americandufus@gmail.com. Some people send direct messages on Twitter. Some have DM'd me on Facebook. And, of course, you can leave them in the comments in the posts that will be up there. But we will get all 6 categories listed, and we're announcing them. How did die 100 times and came back to life? I might have to vote for him. Telescope, how you doing, man? Max Smith, hello. Dean Wall. Carl didn't get a nomination for funny. He did get 1 nomination for something else, but not enough to be in the top 4. DOA funny for the win. Okay. We'll see how it goes. I'm surprised by the nominations, so I may be surprised by the votes. The next category is loudest. Who is the loudest? And we'll start at the other end. We'll start with the non-1776 males this time. And there are people that have been nominated for everything. Every single category. And the loudest: Defender of Ants, Telescope, Jeff Ellis, and DUFUS. We are the nominees. I don't know. I don't think I ever get really loud, but maybe I have. Or maybe there were just no other really loud people in the male category. Anyway, it's Ant, it's Telescope, it's Jeff Ellis, and it's me. For the ladies, non-1776, the nominees are, in the loudest category, Not Associated Press, AP, Anarchy Princess, Lori Arnold, BTM Sparky, and Vaughn Michelle. Those are the 4 that were nominated as the loudest non-1776 characters in a online soap opera from the summer. As far as the female 1776 members who were the loudest, the 4 nominees to be considered as the loudest: Corinne, Jaylyn, Crystal, and again Lady Buckeye. And I don't know. I'm not sure about who Lady Buckeye is, but evidently she was funny and loud. The nominees for the men in the loudest category, 1776 movement men, Oreo was nominated, as well as Screamin' Steve, Wizzy, and Wyckoff are the 4 nominees for the loudest 1776 movement characters. Oreo, Screamin' Steve, Wizzy, and Wyckoff. Okay. Next category, most effective. Hold on a second. I just popped over to the chat for a second. Does Wizzy's horn count? Hong Kong. 76 men. Loudest is going to be Screamin' Steve, Oreo, Wizzy, and Wyckoff. Wyckoff was considered one of the loudest. So that takes us to most effective, and most effective protesters. And these were limited. This is the boots on the ground. Okay. These are people that actually we all deserve a great vote of thanks to, no matter which side they were on, for all the content that was provided. And while it was entertaining and amusing and must see for us, it was often dangerous and uncomfortable, and they risked a lot. So thank you to these people that have been nominated in the category of most effective protesters. There are only 2 in the non-1776 male category, Ant and Telescope. In the female category, the most effective female protesters nominated: Whistle Girl, J. Met, Anarchy Princess, Lori Arnold. There are your 4 most effective female protesters, non-1776. Most effective female protesters, 1776. Jaylyn, Crystal, Corinne, Hippie Mama. Jaylyn, Crystal, Corinne, Hippie Mama. Most effective 1776 protesters. Male, 1776, most effective: Screaming Steve, Dom, Stormtrooper, and Oreo. So Oreo, Stormtrooper, Dom, and Screaming Steve nominated as most effective for 1776. Takes us to costumes. Again, we only had 2 nominations for the male category for outside 1776. And once again, as they have been in every category thus far, the nominees include Ant and Telescope. Telescope for the Santa hat and Ant for numerous costumes. As far as the ladies go, females, non-1776 costumes. Lori Arnold, Anarchy Princess for her 666 anarchy look. Defender of, or I'm sorry, I can't read my writing. What is that? Oh, reenactment with dolls. Lori Arnold, Associated Press, Anarchy Princess, reenactment with dolls, and once again, Lolo has been nominated in the costume category. Female 1776 restoration movement, costumes, Hippie Mama, Corinne, and Jay Lynn were the three nominees there. Costumes for men, 1776. And I don't know, y'all saw some videos that I didn't see in the costume thing. But anyway, One American, No Party, Matt, Golden Chariot, Dom, and Mags. Those are the four nominees. Again, I haven't seen all, you all have seen a whole bunch more videos than I have. So that takes us to the two categories left. And going to start out with the villain category. Now, villain doesn't necessarily always mean evil person. It means somebody that's doing really bad things for their own self-interest, which probably to a lot of people is the definition of evil. But in soap opera tradition, the villains are the longest lasting characters and the characters you love to hate. So if you are in the category of villain, don't get your feelings all twisted up about it. It just means that, some people didn't like some of the things that happened. Let's just put it that way. And we will start with the 1776 female restoration movement nominees for the category of best villain in a online soap opera during the 2022 season. Females that have been nominated for best villain include Crystal, Corinne, Jay Lynn, and once again, Lady Buckeye. The males in 1776 movement that have been nominated for best villain: Bandit, Oreo, Santa, and Wizzy. Now, these categories, the villain categories, had a lot of nominations. We didn't have any trouble filling these up. It was just a matter of, who's going to end up in the top four. I know Flopper and Screaming Steve also had nominations for villain. I don't remember who else in the 1776 category. In the non-1776 category, females, top four female villain nominees: Vaughn Michelle, Jay Met, Lori Arnold, and Anarchy Princess are the four nominees for female villain in an online soap opera from this past summer. And I hope no one is offended at any of these, because that's not, it's all supposed to be in good fun. But this category may be the one that hurts people's feelings, and that's not the intent. Von Michelle, J. Met, Lori Arnold, and Anarchy Princess, the females nominated for the Villain Award in the non-1776 category. As far as males, in alphabetical order, Defender of Ants, Claude, DUFUS, primarily for doing an award show, and Telescope. So there we go. There we go. That's all of the nominations. No, it's not. You're right. It's not. We got to do the hero category, and we will get right to that. We'll start with non-1776 male in the hero category. As has been in every other category, Defender of Ants and Telescope. And Telescope was specifically mentioned for doing the episode on Bandit and exposing the truth. The other two nominees, other than Ant and Telescope in the hero category, are Dire Wolf for his bravery when Billy had a gun, and just overall for keeping us all informed, One Lazy Gamer. So there are your heroes for the non-1776 male category: Defender of Ants, Telescope, Dire Wolf, and One Lazy Gamer. Heroes in the female category, as they have been in every other category, Anarchy Princess and Lori Arnold are both nominated. So a lot, Lori Arnold, Anarchy Princess, Defender of Ants, Telescope, nominated in every single category. Also nominated in the hero category are Whistle Girl and Trucker Girl. So there are the hero categories for non-1776 female. As far as the hero categories for the 1776 movement, females nominated are Ma, Crystal, Lady Buckeye, and Jay Lynn. And somebody's going to have to fill me in on a text or an email or something about Lady Buckeye. I've heard the name a couple of times, but I was really surprised it popped up as much as it did in the nominations. But, nonetheless, y'all watch a lot more than I do. And finally, the male hero nominations for 1776 movement: Dom, Mechanic Eric, Oreo, and Santa. Those, I did that in alphabetical order, I think. Yeah. Dom, Mechanic Eric, Oreo, and Santa for the heroes of the 1776 Restoration Movement male categories. So there we go. Sandy Foster, I swear Lady Buckeye is nominating herself. Hey, I cannot confirm or deny that. If Santa quits and becomes a trucker, he will get my vote for hero. I write in Mike for hero. Mechanic Eric, the guy who made that great trailer stage from the mall. I don't know about that. Red and JJ, best bromance. I just now realized it. Red Squirrel didn't. Well, I'm not surprised, I guess. I'm kind of thinking to myself and obviously talking to myself, even though I'm on a YouTube live or live stream, not only on YouTube, but Red Squirrel did not get nominated. But then again, he's not really part of he's non 1776, I guess, but I don't know if anyway. That's it. Those are the nominations. This is odd for who we get to pick from. Okay, don't you? Sandy Foster, Dr. Justice for All. The main players are missing. Jules, who you think are missing? Thank you, Lisa Hurley. And actually, it wasn't me. It's you all, everybody that watches. Jeff's big mad he didn't get the nomination. Jeff did get nominated. Jeff got nominated for, what did he get nominated for? He got nominated for loudest. Me and Jeff, Telescope and Ant. And Telescope and Ant got nominated for everything. And as it should be, they're main players. We got some ties in there. Yes, there were a couple of ties. Oomph? Categories for various law enforcement agencies and court jurisdictions. That's kind of ongoing. We might have to do that one after all the court stuff. Wait, I take that back. Red did. According to Mechanic Eric, Red was hacked, I guess. Somebody popped on there pretending to be Red. So, yeah, Jersey J and the Squirrels were there putting in work. Absolutely, Mater. Yeah. I don't know. We didn't have most effective protesters. I guess JJ and Red Squirrel would fit in there as most under the male category, but nobody nominated him. Eric, why was he even in this? I don't understand. I'm assuming that was from convoy people that he helped with vehicles and stuff. And, if your vehicle's broken down, somebody comes along and fixes it. It's pretty heroic at that time anyway. And again, I was surprised. I didn't think Eric would get any nominations. Taurus Rising. Hello. Oomph. People's Choice. Yeah, it was the people that, the people did the nominating. The people are going to do the voting. And I'll get it up as soon as I can. Hot Mess Summer, hey. Why, what? Jules? Yeah, I could have done, Biggest Losers and those kind of things, but I wanted to keep it halfway civil. I wanted it to be something that everybody could participate in from both sides. Okay. Don't you? I get you. Why would I be the loudest? I don't know. I have a feeling that people, they were just mad at me. They're mad at me. Some of them are mad at me for doing this. and I imagine it was just, like, we'll show you, thinking probably that I wouldn't admit that I'd been nominated for anything. And they'd go, oh, why aren't you on there? Because we nominated you. So I'm playing it all straight up. And they nominated me, more than a few. Glory be. Glory be for what, Sandy Foster? Curtis. Hold on. I'm just checking in with the chat for Villain. Hi from this I know. Hi, Cunning Stunt. Hold on, I'm checking, see if I can find Curtis and see what Curtis was saying. I probably went right by it. No. All right. Oh, there's Curtis. Well. Exactly who I had in my top of my list. Why didn't y'all nominate? Most triggered viewers. Most annoying laugh. Sandy Foster, oh my God, most annoying, yes. Glasgow's laugh was annoying. By the way, Max Flower, somebody nominated you for female villain, non-1776, simply because you're a badass. Nathan, how you doing? Glory B has the most annoying laugh, okay? You never know, there might be a couple of interactive categories that are dropped during the award ceremony, just so the chat has some interaction with the award announcements and possibly determining, like, a yes or no. Do poop buckets deserve a Lifetime Achievement Award for everything they went through this past summer? That was something to think about. Nominate Lori for Badass of the Year. What if one for most triggered? I knew Max would take that the correct way. Second that. I'd like to talk to Alex Glasgow, to be honest with you. I've heard his name a lot. I have absolutely no idea who he is. But, other than, what I've heard. But it seems like he left at a very crucial moment, and he might have a little bit of info that connects some dots or something. Oh, without a doubt, the best prank was the hayseeds. Samuel getting some money. Yeah, that's right up there. In my opinion, the hayseeds with both the Bluegrass Band and then the Green Acres Farm of Paradise scam. Oh my gosh. Glory B isn't a real member of 1776 though. I'd be all for it. Anybody that knows Alex, I'd be all for having him come on here and learning who he is and the part he played and why he chose to no longer be a part and what he's thinking now, where he's at now. I think that it sounds like a lot of people would be interested to hear that. And of course, he's a good friend of Lori Arnold, so we'd have to probably have Lori on at the same time. Or maybe Lori can get him on her place. I'd like to hear from me. Riddle called Alex an insurrectionist. Oh, pot, kettle. The hayseeds. Alex and X-ray. Hold on, that went by too quick. Lori is working on it, says Lori. Al should have been nominated for something. Al? Debbie Party Pooper. Oh, Al for Alex. Okay. All right. Miss seeing Alex. Every party needs a pooper. That's why we invited you, Party Pooper. No, they're never part of 1776. When they want to, camped with them. She can deny, but she, okay. Okay. And that's cool if, if he's gone. Al Munson. Oh. Al. Yeah, Al's a Al Munson is a legend. I believe she's had a change of heart for the 1776 crew and barely hanging in there again at the J6 vigils. Okay. Ant is the funniest of all time. Let me go back over the categories again here real quick. Just started at the funniest. Ant, Telescope, Baldy Banks, and Jerry Garcia, non-76 men. Ladies, Lolo, AP, Lori, and Sparky. Females, Jaylyn, Lady Buckeye, Faith and Country, and Hippie. And Chud, Santa, Oreo, and Hal for the man. Loudest, Oreo, Steve, Wizzy, and Wyckoff. Ladies, Corinne, Jaylyn, Crystal, Lady Buckeye. Loudest for the non-1776 female, AP, Lori, BTM, Sparky, and Von Michelle. And for the loudest men, Ant, Telescope, Jeff Ellis, and me. Male villains, 1776. Bandit, Oreo, Santa, and Wizzy. Villain for the male, non-1776, Ant, Telescope, me, and Claude. And villain female for 1776, Jaylyn, Lady Buckeye, Corinne, and Crystal. Female, AP, Lori, J. Met, Von Michelle. The heroes. Searching for a hero. Male, Santa, Oreo, Dom, and Mechanic Eric. Female, Jaylyn, Lady Buckeye, Ma, and Crystal. And for the female, non-1776, Trucker Girl, Whistle Girl, Lori, and AP. And for the males, Gambler, Lazy Gamer, Dire Wolf, Telescope, and Ant. And for costumes, One American No Party, Matt, Golden Chariot, and Mags for the men in 1776. Ladies, Hippie, Corinne, and Jaylyn. Only had 3 nominees. Costumes for the ladies, non-1776. Lori, AP, reenactment with dolls, and Lolo. And for the men, Ant, Telescope, reenactment with dolls. That's female, okay. Ant and Telescope are the only 2 in that category. Most effective protesters, 1776. Steve, Dom, Stormtrooper, and Oreo for the male, 1776. Jaylyn, Crystal, Corinne, and Hippie Mama for the female. Lori, AP, Jimette, and Whistle Girl, most effective female. Ant and Telescope were the only 2 nominated in the male category. And that is it. Those are our categories. She reminds me of the witch in Hansel and Gretel. Most gullible, David Santa Rydell. I don't know. Is Jeff in here? Most gullible is Dom, says Dr. Justice. Damn good at playing both sides. Wyckoff did get mentioned. Yes, he got mentioned in the loudest, Jeff. Wasn't that what it was? Yes, he's nominated in the 1776 loudest category, along with Screamin' Steve, Wizzy, and Oreo. And maybe I didn't read that off. The Beard Awards. No mention of Big D. Actually, somebody did mention there was. I take that back. Somebody did. He did get one mention for one category, but it was one of the categories where there were a whole bunch of nominees. Yeah, we're just having a lot of fun in here. It's not a thing. Ain't no thing. We're going to be giving away Doofies. American Dufus Channel Doofy Awards, and they're going to be imaginary. They'll be probably about that tall. Thursday, instead of game night, Thursday is the awards show ahead of our Christmas weekend. So that's what's coming up Thursday. You'll be able to vote once this show ends and I get the things up. You can or you can go ahead now and email, but you'll be able to vote in direct message on Twitter, in direct message on Facebook. You'll be able to vote in the comments on YouTube, or you can email me, americandufus@gmail.com. Flopper was nominated for villain, and he was nominated for something else. He was nominated for villain, but he got beat out by Bandit, Wizzy, Oreo, and Santa. And he was nominated in Flopper was also nominated for Most Effective Protester, but got beat out by Screamin' Steve, Dom, Stormtrooper, and Oreo. So there we go. I'll put them all up on, I'll get them all put up online and probably have it done within by midnight, a half an hour. That may be optimistic. As soon as I can get them up there, I will have them posted online, and you can start voting. He is the best at flopping. Cutest dog. I don't like Wizzy, but I love Tucker. I gotta show you. Oh, let me see if I can reach back here. Oh, turn that light on and brighten it up just for a couple of seconds here. See if I can do this without destroying. People were asking about the pictures back there. That's me and Doofus dog. That's me and Oakley. Oakley's in Anatolian Shepherd from the Himalayan mountains. Turkish herding dog. They herd yaks. And this is Oakley and Doofus cat, Louie. So, for those that were wondering, and I'll be putting, I have a couple of other pictures. I'll be putting some stuff back up there. Best security guard, crystal meth. Where's Chris? Oh. There we go. Sorry about that. It's crazy. The thing that holds the The shade up just came off. The thing that holds the shade up. Do a little repair here in the studio after the episode's over. Yeah, I love what the chat's doing. Coming up with their own categories. Worst Leos. Oakley looks like Tucker. I don't think I ever saw Tucker. Best bunny is Vinny. Am I giving up? No, there are no participation trophies. This is a hard-ass award show. We're not giving out winner trophies, okay? You're getting respect. You're getting bragging rights. And an imaginary doofus great giant talking head from Night at the Museum. Best drama queen. Hearts to All the Pets. You know, with J-Met has her dog. Let's see. Of course, Spike, the wonder dog. Von Michel has dogs. Freedom Ninja has, I think she has like has those potbelly pigs, I think. Of course, Vinny the bunny. Who else has had dogs that oh, and of course we have Bunny in our chat too. So we could have two in the bunny categories. Best song, baby. Somebody asked, why haven't you, why, when I put the nominations up, why didn't you do best song? And I decided I was going to just play them like they do at the Oscars. They play all the best songs. I'm just going to play them and acknowledge these are the best songs without giving one particular best song because they collaborate a lot and also I don't, they were such a integral part of everything that went on. I wanted to make sure and highlight as many of them as I could. Oh, of course, Mel and Red's dog Honor. We watched Honor grow up online from a little puppy to a big ass dog. Gray Wolf had a dog named Abby. Okay. Yeah, we could have done a pets category. Von Michel, I nominated you for best driver. Still amazed that you followed me that day. Honor's a sweet dog. Yeah, I thought Honor was cool. Yeah. All pets matter. Absolutely. Did it really, Lolo? Booty, of course. Farbarker. Is that Booty's last name? Boutro Farbarker. Dustin had a dog. He did have a little dog. Best Sylvester Stallone impressionist. Vaughn is blocked here? No. Von Michel's not blocked here. I think I just showed her. All right, I think I just saw. Lolo, you got kitty cats. Somebody said Von Michel is blocked here? No. If she is, that was a mistake. Yeah, why would Von Michel be blocked here? Can't forget Echo. Is Echo your pet, Lori? Is that? Yep. She's not blocked here. She just commented. Yeah, I thought I saw Vaughn Michelle comment in here too. Vaughn's here. Okay. Vaughn, I hope you don't take it serious that you got nominations for the categories that you got nominated for. Biggest female villain, but I would take it if I were you as a badge of honor for because all four of these ladies have been very impactful, and I can see why people on the other side would think they were villains. Best chemical attack. I still think that was chlorinated water from that fountain. I thought that the very first time I heard it had happened. I thought somebody just walked over to that fountain over there. Okay, that's cool. State Farm's son wins Best Shirtless Protester. Lori Arnold, we were watching on here, we were restreaming that night, and when that young dude came out there onto the street, you could almost hear the sighs. The women in the chat. Dude's all jacked up there, and he was ready. Vaughn, the most supporting actress. Best lawn chair sitter, Chud. Yeah. He had that down to a science. DOA for the Hero Award. Vaughn blocks herself. She's a true G. The women were panting in your chat too, Lori. Vaughn for the loudest. Was that the other one, Vaughn? Yeah, it was. Yeah. But again, that just shows the impact you've had. Best insurance fraud goes to Oreo. Beefcakiest beefcake. Santa sat most than anyone. Feisty Mama, I voted Summer, Jamette, Lori, and Vaughn for strong warriors. There's no doubt those are four very strong women. Best fake handicap goes to Oreo. Hands down, AP is the loudest. Worst chemical attack was at Bunker Hill. AP is the loudest. She sent her message the furthest. Probably so. Streamer with the most expensive equipment and least expensive equipment. I'm going to say, I don't know, Oreo or Wizzy. Wizzy probably has by far the most expensive equipment than Oreo. Worst location, Bunker Hill. Ooh, serious question from ACB. Who's the biggest propagandist? I'll give you something to think about there, chat. Yeah, I thought about that. If I was going to do if I was really going to kind of blow it up, I thought about who's most likely to be a Fed, but I want to keep it so that, it's fun and funny, or as much as I can. Wizzy has the most expensive. Best decorated car. I don't know, some people put some bucks into getting decals and all kinds of stuff on their vehicles. Most fed up with the 77 or with the 76 and the pedo simps, definitely me, says Vaughn Michelle. Worst campsite, the one that Lori landed on. Most flags. Who had the bigger truck? Now see, I was worried about that getting into categories. Who's got the biggest things? Scott wins most decorated car? Probably, because he did it like 2 or 3 different times. Best dive off the fire truck. The best mouth? X-ray. Biggest guilty conscience. Yellow Sizzler, David Valentine. That's the Proud Boy J6 Vigilant, or whatever, it's Vigil guy. Smelliest overall, all of 76. X-ray's the most full of poopy. Worst mouth was red, the biggest liar. Hold on, it's going by way too quick. Most handsome is Echo, says Lori Arnold. Sizzler has the most corny truck. The worst troll, Mod King. Mag's wife, mouth like Jagger. See, I always I go back and I rewatch the chat if I rewatch anything. To me, you people, you're awesome, and you make this channel most intoxicated. Telescope versus Big D. I'd like to see something like they did in the first Indiana Jones movie. Telescope and Big D sitting down across the table from each other and matching shots until one of them can't stand up anymore. I'd probably bet on Telescope. Cutest dogs, Vaughn. Stop that, Clara. Jesus Christ, you girls. I have heard that too. Thank you, Feisty Mama. I love and appreciate all of you too, especially you. Thank you. And you got a puppy in your Darlene, thanks for the Cashapp. Most puppy pad used in a house. Oh. Yeah, my dog has bigger chew toys than Von Michelle's dogs. Worst granny is Jay Lynn. Most popular horn. My Bichon is my fur baby. Yeah, there are fur babies. Best dog farts, Vaughn dogs. I don't know. Doofus dog released something the other night that was borderline toxic. She rarely does that. I don't know. She must have ate something out in the yard, because she rarely does that. And I mean, it was like, and she raised her head up and looked at me after she did it, like, you know. I don't know. Biggest line to a cop, Taco Joe. That Jeep stopped instantly, so he sped up to hit it. Oh man, I'm just glad nobody got hurt in that. But Doofus, we hear when Vaughn's dog farts. Least likely to take a shower. Oh. Hey, I did watch One American No Party. I did watch him do his woodworking thing for a few minutes the other night, and I didn't watch very long because I didn't know what he was doing, so I didn't know if he was doing it well or not. And he wasn't talking, he wasn't engaging with the screen or with the chat. But he had a really sharp object in his hand, and he had what looked like a piece of firewood spinning around, about 500 miles an hour. So probably best that he was focused on what he was doing. But, I'd like to have him on here and talk about that some night. Vern is good. He seemed like Mater. He seemed like it was interesting watching what he was doing. It was just, I would have liked a little bit. What are you making? What are you making? What kind of wood? What are you doing? A little explanation. Best fire truck injury. 2 really good fire truck injuries to choose from. Worst cooking show. Police. Hey, there have been some good cooking shows. Non-1776 division. Lori Arnold made what'd she make? Egg rolls one night. Vaughn Michelle made baked macaroni and cheese, which I love homemade baked macaroni and cheese. The craft stuff, the stuff you got when you were in school, give me a good homemade baked macaroni and cheese with, anyway. And who else was cooking? I think Lolo did cookies one night, and J. Matt did candy. So, reenactment with dolls. We did not forget you, actually. I say we, I didn't have anything to do with it, but the Reenactment with Dolls channel has been nominated for Best Costumes in the female categories. So congratulations to Reenactment with Dolls, and you'll see some dolls videos awards night. Best reenactments, there's no doubt. What Reenactment with Dolls does is it's spectacular. Lori Arnold, Reenactment with Dolls, love your stuff. Yeah. Produce a best comedic online content nomination. Carl versus Dolls versus Meanwhile versus Just a Lazy Gamer. We might have some surprise categories on awards night, just so that the chat has some things to cut up. Lori's egg rolls and Vaughn's mac and cheese were the best comfort meals. Did we ever find X-Foot telescope? Lori wants to know. I think he's probably, X-Foot's probably hibernating for the winter. After seeing that forecast at the start of the show, I can understand why. Karaoke singer who wasn't, who thought they were good but wasn't. All right, there you go. All right, chat. Who is the karaoke singer who thought they were good? But they weren't? Because there was a bunch of karaoke done in this online soap opera. Myself and someone else made egg rolls after watching Lori. Teddy was the worst. Most court appearances, that'll probably be a tie between David and Lori. Buffalo Man, Big Daddy, all of them. Dustin's Hallelujah made Lolo throw up. Last I knew, X-Foot was in Colorado. Okay. They all got that one? Big D knew he was bad, but he didn't care. DJ or Hal. The one girl that was a really good singer, I can't remember her name, short hair and southern slang. Pardon me. I was going to mention that. Telescope also sang karaoke one night down there on the mall. Jalen wasn't good either. Yes, worst singer awards. I know we've got some people with some good voices. I know that. Dom, worst singer's a tie between Crystal and Gaptooth. Okay. North Carolina lady had a nice voice. Forgot words to Amazing Grace. Jennifer? Big D was awful. Santa is the best singer. Have some great worst singer clips. By best side tackle in a park, Dom on Big D. Who screamed freedom? The best and loudest. The most drunk karaoke singer. Worst at reading words is Big D. Jennifer and Santa were the best singers. Okay, Santa did a passable. See, we can discuss things. That's what I'm hoping this awards thing ends up doing, is getting people to look at other people without hate for just a few minutes. You know, I'm any 1776ers that happen to be there on awards night. You know, I'm hoping they can laugh at their side as well as laughing at the other side, and I'm hoping, you know, it goes both ways, because I know there have to be some people in 1776 movement that, as long as it's been, that look back and go, yeah, what the hayseeds did to us by convincing us there was a plot of land that was going to be, you know, farm paradise for 1776, and it turned out to, you know, the whole thing to be catfish and hoax. They've got to be able by now to go, yeah, you know, that was a good one. They got us. You know, I'm sure David Rydell probably is not at that point yet, but I'm hoping that others in that movement by now have gone, that's pretty sweet. You know, that was a pretty good joke. They got one over on us, and I'm hoping that the award show will kind of lead people to get into that mode, because no kidding, we got a whole bunch of potentially bad crap that could happen to us that it would be a whole lot better if we were indeed a united country as much as possible. And we're going to keep on trying to do our part to just remind people that we've got a lot more in common than we do in opposition. Sin has a oh, that is a great question. We're going to throw this one out. The most honest 1776er. Who do you think the most honest 1776er is? Got to be one of the quiet ones, says Oomph. Best movement backup that failed, 500 trucks coming to help. None of them are honest. Most honest was Dom, Ann. No one, can't think of anyone. No one honest in the whole bunch. Curly V. Maybe Glow Lady. Tony. Convite Brad Pitt. Dom or Rose. The whole phenomenon attracted the very gullible and credulous people with persecution victimhood complexes. None of them were honest. Glow Lady. Rose, Dom. Yep, Dom and Rose. Trooper. Dom Rose. Simon had the balls to leave and never come back. He got called out big time for talking about the Constitution and not knowing what was in it. By the way, I still have an episode up where I went through the entire Constitution and the Bill of Rights in an hour and 45 minutes, and we took 5 breaks. Best 1776 Troll Hayseeds and Samuel. And BTM. Yeah, yes, all 3 of those are incredibly worthy troll nominations, Telescope. Chud was constantly leaking information at one point. Was that intentional? Horse pace mandate? Do you think he was intentionally leaking it, or he was just accidentally saying things he wasn't supposed to? Who knew the Constitution better, TPC or 1776? Tony, that's why they poisoned him with rat poop. Oh man, yeah. I wonder how long it would take me to. Because I'm gonna never mind. I'm gonna play that night. Rose might have been the most earnest. If someone could get Stormtrooper drunk, he would spill all the tea. I think he would. He got drunk one night, and I kept watching it. He and this other lady were the last 2 up, and I thought, man, he's going to start talking. And they started singing, and I was just like, okay, well. No doubt Lazy Gamer was invaluable in providing concise, condensed recaps, baby. Yeah. I still crack up every time I think about Santa and Big D getting punked out at the meeting for their Paradise Campground. I know. I want to see Sparrow's footage. Blue shirt with bowl cut was Tom. He went home and didn't come back. Okay. That was Teddy Bear, wasn't it? Was it? Yeah. He was too fast. Sparrow. Who had the biggest meltdown? I don't know. Santa's meltdown after the Hayseeds Green Acres thing, when Ant was standing out there screaming into the megaphone, Green Acres is the place. That day melted David down, in my opinion anyway. Who is the one person we really want to interview for the truth? Mine's Rose. I know I wouldn't get it, but I'd want to go directly to David Rydell if I was going to have a sit down with anybody. And I know I wouldn't get the truth unless it was some source of, I might get the truth because AP would put a curse on him, and Lori Arnold. I think Lori Arnold's got some like voodoo priestess stuff going on, so they might. That was all joke. In case you are 1776 and watching that, Lori Arnold is not a voodoo priestess, to my knowledge, and AP doesn't inflict curses. Yeah, most epic moment, your truck's on fire. Sparrow saw it all, though. Yeah, that would be a good interview, too. And I'd like to talk to Wizzy. I'd like to get an honest conversation from Wizzy, because Wizzy knows things. Wizzy knows things that he hasn't said, I'm sure. I I've met him a few times. He's deceptive and manipulative. I imagine that would be the case. Good luck. No, I'm not really going for it, Lolo. I would just, if I was going to sit down with anybody and trying to get to the bottom of it, you might as well go to the top. Oh, hell no to anything Wizzy. Wizzy has to control the conversation. I've noticed that. I've had a lot of people tell me, it's great to have the way we do the interviews on here is great because I let people talk. Even if I don't agree with them, I allow them to talk. It should be that way. Lori is like the white light. Light, but it will strike your ass down. She's my best warrior in this whole show. Yeah, Lolo. Yeah. That would be who I'd like to. They all have to control the conversations. Wizzy was the one to cover up. Yeah, I think Wizzy knows a lot more than he's let out. Give me my phone. I want my phone back. Give me back my phone. It's the left, guys. Guys, it's the left. It's what the left does. Okay, it's the liberals. Yet face-to-face Wizzy can't deal. Funniest moment category. Okay, guys, what was your funniest moment as you think back? In the beginning was following. Sandy's truck blasted Lori with high beams. Wizzy was very triggered. That night, Lori stood up to Wizzy. Wizzy was yelling, and Ant was laughing. What was the funniest moment? Frankie Bobby might have been the funniest moment when he was dead asleep and they're pounding on his windows, and he wakes up. The look on his face when he woke up, and AP was yelling, "Your truck's on fire! Your truck's on fire!" trying to save him, and screaming Steve's in her face, calling her a demon, and trying to push her back so she doesn't blow up the rest of the block. That was hilarious. Ninja trying to act innocent on the show, on my show, Vaughn. Because I was just a tiny bit, and for just a tiny second, I was smitten with Freedom Ninja for a couple of moments. Yes, okay, yeah, because and then she, okay, but yeah, my best funniest is Ant. When he came out with the chainmail and no one knew what the fuck he was doing. Green Acres, yeah, that whole day. DOA is the best. He's one of a kind. We had a lot of unicorns. We were fortunate to meet a lot of unicorns, unique individuals, one of a kind individuals, from Anarchy Princess to Lori Arnold to Defender Vance, to Telescope, to the Squirrels, a lot of different characters, a lot of unique individuals, and we got to witness it all. DOA sits back as hell is breaking loose and just smiles. He does. I've said this before on here. DOA is an excellent practitioner of brinkmanship. He pushes somebody right to their limit, and maybe even a little past their limit, and then he'll back off and he'll let them expose themselves. I bet he was, Lori. I never really had. I had DOA on here twice, but they were both really short conversations. I never really had him on here for an extended interview. Missed telescopes. Came in to it. Okay. Yeah, it was. Hasty's perfect farm scam was funny. I like the unknown with DOA. Yes. Never knew what to expect from him. Yeah. It was like you had to watch to see what was going to happen. Absolutely. AP showed up with the crazy 666 on her. That's why she was nominated for best costume for that night when she was all in black and had the 666 on and the goth makeup and stuff. She stays really calm in the middle of being gang swarmed, basically. Best description of 1776 from Telescope. Quote, this place looks like a G-dam. It disappeared. There we go. This place looks like a G-dam almost internment camp. Waffle House has the best waffles. Mel with the tree after it was attacked by a brutal savage. I remember that, Von Michelle. Freedom Squirrel talking to the tree, apologizing to it for what had happened to it and how they were going to raise money for it. Oh. Yeah, DOA has one of those attitudes, like, he's like that little kid that you just, you can tell by the look on his face he's about to do something. Frankie Bobby getting interrogated by a tent Karen. Saddest moment was Tracy's death. Yeah. Let Lori give you the questions for David. Oh, David Rydell wouldn't agree to an interview on here. Mags didn't even agree. He said he would. I asked him a couple of questions at the start when he and Lori were on here, and he said, I'll come back on and answer all the questions, but, that didn't happen. Nothing worse than the dude rocking skinny jeans with a buzzer face. Peace, Smoke Wagon, how you doing? It's good to have some reflection, be able to find some humor in all the craziness that took place. Yeah, things could have gone sideways many times. Mags is the most lame. The truck that broke down the most. Yeah, there are a lot of things that have happened over this past summer. And sometimes, my gosh, there was sometimes I was up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning watching Lori Arnold protesting out there by herself. Yeah, there was some amazing stuff. Mag America's too busy putting copyright strikes against your channel. You're not alone, brother. Bryant was a true patriot. Tracy and Bryant were the two that lost their lives or passed away during this. And again, I personally want absolute nothing but the total best results for Freedom Squirrel's dad and everything he's going through down there in Florida and everything she's going through with him. I know a lot of people, I don't know what happened with all of that. But every time I've had the opportunity to talk with Melanie, she's always been great. Again, I don't know what happened with it. This is just me talking. I'm not telling you what to think or how to think. Innocent people trying to get away from convoy. I worried about Lori out there so late by herself. Yeah, always be kind. Mags is scared of trolls. Really, would you like to see Ant take that vintage old camper truck across country? None of us knew what happened to the rats. Okay. Mags is scared of himself and of the truth. 76 only acted in the dark, so no one could see what they were up to. A lot of activity around that campground after dark. Something to think about. No proof of anything. No, insinuations or anything. Just a observation. 76 security in the dark was stalking. Lisa Hurley, I wish best for Mel Dad, but she is not a good person. Okay. Most whiny moment. Winner is Oreo. Give me my phone. Yeah, best act of kindness, hauling that ambulance back to her daughter. And again, that was that might have been one of the reasons Eric the Mechanic got nominated. But he got nominated as a 1776er, and I don't know if he ever technically was part of 1776. I think stress has taken its toll. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm going to shut it down for this evening because I've already gone like longer than I intended. I was just going to do the nominations and then get off and get them posted, but it's been a great chat. So Eric was a good man, too many. Feisty. The only time I really saw Eric on an extended thing was one of his streams when he was leaving. He was getting ready to head back home. I was upset when Wyckoffs were told not to video when they came all the way back to DC. Oh, thank you, Dr. Justice. Thank you, Lisa Hurley, Rapunzel, everybody for being here. Taurus, Stunning, Leva, Always Be Kind, New Horizons, Nathan Brown. We will be back Tuesday at 10 p.m. DUFUS After Dark, 10 p.m. Tuesday, 10 p.m. Wednesday, and then at 10 p.m. Thursday we will have our award show. So, hey Seeds, love one another. Great name. Bunny, Feisty, Jules, Sassy, Patricia. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for clicking on. And I wish everybody nothing but an absolute blessed day ahead. And we'll be back Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Pacific. We'll do DUFUS After Dark on the American DUFUS channel. Thank you all for watching. If you'd like to help the channel, it's Cashapp $ American DUFUS. Again, a huge thank you to everybody that's helped out. Sparky doing a fundraiser, Telescope, Summer, everybody that has donated. There's too many to mention, and I'm humbled. I'm grateful, and I thank you. It is a dark world. Do try to be a light. Shalom, shalom, assalamu alaikum, namaste, peace, blessings in the name of the Most High, His Son Christ Jesus, and the Holy Spirit if you're a fellow Christian. If not, positive vibes, much love, and peace. We'll see you next time, Tuesday, 10 p.m.